Microphone check. This device works now.
Good morning, everyone. Please prepare for our meditation time. Thank you. As we come together this morning in consciousness, please make yourself comfortable. Close your eyes if it's comfortable for you to do so. Today it's all about peace. Inner peace is all about letting go, relaxing, letting go more, and relaxing more. You can do this now. So take a slow, deep breath and let go of any tension as you feel yourself sinking into the surface you're resting on, becoming still, more comfortable, and relaxed. Take another slow, deep breath and release your thoughts, letting them drift far away. And take another slow, deep breath and know that in this moment, all is well. Now notice your connection to the ground, either through the bottom of your feet or the bottom of your seat, as you feel the energy of the earth softly flowing into you, supporting you and grounding you. And imagine the energy of life is flowing into you through the top of your head, your hands, your heart, slowly and peacefully. Picture this energy of life as a soft green colored light, filling your body, your mind, and your emotions. Now notice your breathing and allow it to become deeper and slower. As you breathe in the word deep. As you breathe out the word peace. Breathe in deep, breathe out peace. Now take a few moments to continue to follow your breath in and out with the words deep peace, deep peace. If other thoughts come in, simply let them go and refocus on deep peace. Breathing in and out. Do this a few more times. Consider one thing in your life that tends to disturb you, and imagine you are holding that situation gently in your heart, surrounded by a soft green light. Without trying to analyze change or control that situation. Just hold it softly in your heart and breathe the word deep and peace in and out of that situation. Deep peace. Very often the thing that disturbs us either change, dissolves, or cease to disturb us if we lighten the way we think about them. So for now, for the sake of your own inner peace, just continue to hold that situation softly in your heart, in the green light, and breathe the words deep and peace in and out. Deep peace. Deep peace. Deep peace. Now allow that situation to fade and focus only on the green soft light and breathing in and out the words deep and peace. It will soon be time to bring this inner journey to a close. So take a moment to thank yourself for giving yourself this gift of deep peace. Bring your awareness gently back to your physical surroundings. And take your time. And when you're ready, you may open your eyes and feel awake, alert, and refreshed, remembering the words deep peace. I thank you for joining me in meditation this morning. Minutes. So if you need to get up and stretch, go get refreshed, have some donuts and coffee. Good morning, everyone. It is 10 o'clock. Do we all know what happens at 10 o'clock?
Yeah, someone gets their name tag put on them.
Someone gets their name tag put on them.
I'll be right back.
And I know, it's right here. I got you. Now, when do we go live?
You're live.
Oh, wow. Hello, everyone in Cyberland. So welcome to those online and in person. First-time guests, welcome. Is there any first-time guests today? Oh, wonderful, wonderful. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. And the other people are getting their name tags. Is that right? Okay. All right. So please pick up a blue welcome pack in the back of the room and make sure you have your programs for today so you'll know exactly what's happening and you can follow along. After service, we have a fellowship. I don't know that we're going to have a meal today. We are going to have a meal today, good, in Carter Hall. Please consider staying after service for that. We'd love to fellowship with you. Now take a moment to make sure your cell phones are placed on silence. That way our time spent together can be uninterrupted. So now we'll have our vision statement. And we can read that together, please. So let's read it together. Our vision is a world that works for everyone. Let's say that again together. A world that works for everyone. Okay. Center for Spiritual Living Beaumont is an inclusive and transformative community of spiritual practice. And so what we like to say is we'd like to ask you to turn to your neighbor and say, howdy, neighbors.
Howdy, neighbor.
And for those of you that don't know me, I've been here a lot. This is kind of like a second home to me. My name is Reverend Sonja Prince, and I'm out of Riverside Center for Spiritual Living as the assistant minister there. So now we'll have some music from our music maestro, Yankee. To, clap your hands or sway to the music. Just get those bodies moving. Get some energy flowing. All right, Al, take it away.
It's just a little greeting music here. Very simple. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. You do that with me?
Yes.
Let's do it.
All right.
Woo! Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. So the next one is thank you for this day, Spirit. This beautiful day. Yeah? Not too tough. 1, 2, 3, 4. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Beautiful. It's beautiful. This beautiful. This beautiful day. This beautiful. This beautiful. This beautiful day. Obviously, you can make them all kinds of things. How about for my wonderful friends? Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. I gotta believe that. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. Thank you for my friends, Spirit. Thank friends. There we go. Thank you for my friends, Spirit. Thank you for my friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. Hey. How about my bountiful life? Thank you for my life, Spirit. Thank you for my life. Thank you for my life, Spirit. Thank you for my life. My bountiful, my bountiful, my bountiful life. My bountiful, my bountiful, my bountiful life. Again. My bountiful, my bountiful, my bountiful life. My bountiful, my bountiful, my bountiful life. Hey. One more time for thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day.
All right. Thank you, Al. Now it's time for our announcements. Our announcements. If I could just only find our announcements. Okay. So, a human dharma. Celebrate a loved one, organization, or special occasion by sponsoring Sunday flowers with a floral arrangement and a heartfelt message. Sign up today. Information at the information station. Where's the information station? In the back. So if you don't know where the information station is, oh, it's over here. The information station, it actually says it. So sign up. I just got some information, that's right. Sign up for the Fellowship Food Challenge on the information station right there. There is up to $50 reimbursement for the main dish based on your receipts. The third announcement is Joel Goldsmith book discussion is back. It is regularly scheduled. It's back to its regularly scheduled program every Thursday at 4 p.m. And there is some information on our screen about that. And you can sign up for that. Where? At the information station. You guys are good. Okay, it also says Friday, May 30th and Saturday, May 31st, we're having a yard sale at the center. Now, yard sales are a lot of work, but they're so beneficial. And I know you got some stuff in your closet, in your pantry, all over that you want to get rid of, right? So come out, bring those items, gently used, and support this center by participating in the yard sale. And then lastly, join us. Oh, no. Lastly, no. There is a special announcement right here that I was given this morning. Redlands High School Clock Auditorium. Do you want to come up and do this announcement, young lady? Because you know all about it. I'm going to hand the mic over. You can stay right there. You don't have to take the stairs.
Well, today at 3 p.m. is our concert. I will be playing in it. It's at Redland High School. We're not charging any money. You just come and enjoy yourself. And 3 o'clock, Redland High School.
What's the play's name? What's the name of the play?
It's a concert. We're playing. I'm playing my violin, and it's an orchestra.
Thank you very much. So if you're interested in, just see her after service or come up to the information station and see the flyer and take the information down. It's a wonderful day. It's a little overcast and gloomy outside, but what other way to, after this service, to enjoy yourself by listening to a beautiful orchestra, a concert. So thank you for that. All right. So again, I am Reverend Sonja Prince. I am a special person. I am a practitioner. You're a practitioner first. Once you're a practitioner, you're always a practitioner. But I'm at Riverside Center for Spiritual Living. And so I will be available after service for prayer. Don't leave here with anything on your heart. What we know is that prayer works. And you don't always have to have a problem. We want to also pray and lift up in consciousness the good things that are happening in your life. Let's magnify those things as well. So I'll be available for after service for prayer. Now we'll have our meditative song.
This is actually a piece of music that I wrote some years ago that is kind of what you were just talking about. Think it to yourself. Be at peace. Be at peace. Or think it for somebody else. Be at peace. Be at peace. When your path seems filled with obstacles, when your days seem filled with pain, when it seems that no one's listening to you, when your mission seems impossible, when you're blown by winds of change, let your small inner voice come through. Be at peace, you're all right, you're just fine, you are perfect, you're divine. Be at peace, you're all thoughts, you're all things, you're the universal mind. Be at peace, you're the spirit of an eagle, you're the sighing of a dove. Be at peace at the center of creation in everlasting love. Other people can seem insensitive with their words and attitudes, giving voice to things that you just can't believe. But imagine for a moment that you're walking in their shoes. Bless their path, call it good, let them be. Peace. They're all right, they're just fine, they're perfect, they're divine. Be at peace, they're all thoughts, they're all things, they're the universal mind. Be at peace, they're the spirit of an eagle, they're the sighing of a dove. Be at peace at the center of creation in everlasting love. In the humdrum, tumble jumbling of our dizzy, busy days, we experience anxieties and doubts. Will they see my imperfections? Will they think that I'm okay? Don't despair. Breathe in, breathe out. Say to yourself, I'm all right, I'm just fine, I'm perfect, I'm divine. Be at peace. I'm all thoughts, I'm all things, I'm the universal mind. Be at peace. I'm the spirit of an eagle, I'm the sighing of a dove. Be at peace. The center of creation in everlasting love. In everlasting love.
And as we ground ourselves together in unity, knowing that there's only one presence and one power, that presence and power flows through all creation, flows through you, flows through me, everything under the heavens. And what I know is that it is beauty, it is peace. It cannot be disturbed. And we are individualized expressions of it. So at our core, it is there. It is peace. It is love. It is joy. So no matter what the outward appearance may be, we can go in to that peaceful place, the place of the Most High. And as Al said, you are right. You are all right. No part of you have ever been hurt or harmed. That part of you that is the divine essence cannot be harmed. So we tap in and tune in and turn on to that. And we allow that to guide us each and every day. And that's where we find heaven, find love, find peace. So I'm so thankful to be here today. I'm thankful for all of you who have come to hear the truth of your being, to fellowship in this space. And I bless this space for all that it is, to this community. And with a grateful heart, I bless our music, I bless our board, all the people that make this service possible. I bless the practitioners and the leadership council, whoever is away, they're in their right and perfect place. And we give thanks for them as well, because what they're being is they're being fed. They're being fed this truth. And so with a grateful heart, I let it be so. And so it is. Oh, now it's time for me again. All right. So today we're talking about peace. That idea of peace and navigating peace. And negotiating. So we all know about negotiation, don't we? We're doing it every day, aren't we? We're having to negotiate. And if you have family and friends, you're negotiating that too as well, right? You know, I have 4 children, and 2 of them have returned. You know, you say, sweetheart, mom and dad are so proud of you. Go out and live your life. And then they come back. So we're negotiating There's 8 people that in my home. So there's negotiating going on 24/7. So my sermon today, my talk title is Negotiating Peace, Conflict, Reconciliation, and Transformation. I'm trying to transform those people at my house. So often we sing, Al and I were talking about it today. We know each other from Redlands, so good to see you. And then I see some other friends back there. Good to see you too. Wonderful. And this place is kind of like home to me. I've been coming here for a long time, and so every time I come, it's just like, we're just going to have a conversation today. I'm going to talk with old friends and new friends too. All right? So that's what we're going to do today. So we have a song that some of our sinners sing, let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with who? Me, right. So in our global theme, we want a world that works for everyone. But what we know is that if we're going to foster this thing called peace, it has to start with us, right? But so by focusing on our own self-awareness, we get to go in, work on the things we need to work on, and then when we have peace in ourselves, then that we can bring out to our families, our communities, and in the world. But first it has to start with us, so we have to focus on our awareness. And so today in the meditation, what I talked about was breathing in deep, breathing out peace. And what we want to try to cultivate within us is that deep peace. And I know sometimes we can be reactionary when something happens, but in our philosophy, we're asked to just go within before we say anything or do anything. And that's important on how we show up in the world, right? Right? Can I get an amen? All right. So when we talk about negotiating peace and conflict, reconciliation, and transformation, the emphasis that true peace can only be given from the abundance of peace within us, highlighting the importance of individual transformation, our own individual transformation. So today, what's happening in the world? Has anybody watched the news this morning? Whew. So we're negotiating that. And we're trying to find peace within ourselves so we don't operate in a fear-based, right? So in our world today, leaders often advocate for peace while simultaneously engaging in actions that perpetuates conflict. So to generally foster peace, we must recognize that conflict is not merely an external phenomena, but a reflection of internal discord. But science of mind teaches us there is a deep connection between our inner state and our external reality. People often say, if you want to know what you're thinking, look at your life. So I have a story for you. There's an old African proverb that says, when there is no enemy within, the enemies outside cannot hurt you. Let me repeat that. When there's no enemies within, the enemies outside cannot hurt you. That means you've done your spiritual work. That means anything that's happening out there cannot touch you because you've done the deep work within yourself. And you know who you are and whose you are, right? Okay. So I'm sharing this story about two neighbors, once friends, whose relationship broke down over a property line dispute. How many of, that happens all the time. We hear it all the time. So what began as a misunderstanding escalated into a legal battle. Years passed. Then one day, one neighbor's wife fell gravely ill. The other showed up with food and comfort. And in that moment, the decades of bitterness melted. And not because they solved the land issue, but because someone chose compassion over pride. So what changed? One person chose to see the other not as an adversary, but as a fellow human in pain. And that is the first step towards peace. Can you take this lesson of peace and cultivate that in your life? Can you begin to see the people that we say, oh, those other people over there, as humans, and love them right where they are, or cultivate peace with them, or show them compassion, show them love? Can we do that? Because I feel that that's what's needed in our world right now. We need more compassion. We need more love. But we can only start having that when we do the deep work and we have peace within ourselves. And then we begin to not see people as other. Oh, yeah, this is happening to those people over there, and it doesn't affect my house, so I'm not worried about that. We need to have a little bit more compassion in our lives so we see everyone as individualized expressions of God, as humans. So the core message here is to resolve conflict is more than a tactical process. It's a spiritual practice that aligns in harmony, love, and unity. And what do we do in our centers? Spiritual practice. Spiritual practice. So in the meditation today, I said, if there's something on your mind, that's something, conflict that's not resolved within you, we need to breathe deep. Breathe in deep, breathe out peace. And then the words come, deep peace, deep peace, deep peace. Because I can only be effective if I have peace within me. Conflict is not the problem. The problem is when we don't know how to move through it. Conflict can be a portal to deep understanding and transformation when we are grounded in spiritual truth. And what is our spiritual truth? What is our spiritual truth? That we're... Well, that's true. We're spiritual beings. We're having a spiritual experience in these human vessels that we call bodies. But this experience is spiritual. It's spiritual too. So we are spiritual beings. We are individualized expressions of the one power, the one presence. So what I thought I'd talk about today is I was reading this book. Have anybody heard of the Book of Forgiving? And it talks about the path to forgiveness. And this happened in South Africa. We all know the atrocities that happened in South Africa. So Desmond Tutu and his daughter Mpho Tutu, they wrote a book describing the fourfold path of forgiveness. And the first thing that they talked about is, number one, was telling the story. And the purpose of that is to bring light to truth and allow the one who has been hurt to be heard and acknowledged. The second is naming the hurt. And the purpose of naming the hurt is to identify and express the emotional impact of the wrongdoing. The third is granting forgiveness, to free yourself from the burden of resentment. And the fourth is renewing or releasing the relationship. And the purpose of that is empowerment. It's a decision about the future relationship. And guess who gets to make that decision? You do. Because you can forgive someone, but that does not mean that you have to continue the relationship with them. How many of us have forgiven people but said, but that's enough for me? I'm going to go my way and you can go your way, but I forgive you and I love you for who you are, right where you are. Because what I know about people is we may want the people in our life to change. And I have a friend that she talks about her brother a lot, and I say, you are thinking that he's going to wake up tomorrow morning and be someone different than who he is. And he's not going to do that. So what do we have to do? We have to go within ourselves and get to a point where we accept that person and we can love them for who they are, because they get to be the individualized expressions of spirit, who they are. And we get to understand, maybe we don't understand everything that they do and say, but we get to let them be them. Because we want people to allow us to be us, right? So we come to an understanding where we can forgive this person for whatever. I don't know what that looks like, whatever. But I don't have to continue the relationship with you. I'm going to let you be you, and I'm going to be me. And blessings to you, and I'm going to be over here. Amen. Amen. So the last thing was the reconciliation, renewing or releasing the relationship. After forgiveness, we either choose to rebuild trust and renew the connection or release it with peace. Doesn't it feel good to release someone with peace and not hold the bitterness? Because if you hold on to the bitterness, where does it show up? And what are they doing? They're going about their life, living their life while we're still holding on to resentments. So South Africa, they came up with the Truth and Reconciliation Commission after the legacy of apartheid. And what it allowed to do is the perpetrators had an opportunity to speak on what they did. You know, we talk about, what's the word? It just went out of my head. It'll come back. It always comes back around. But owning up to what you've done, being accountable. So the ones that came and spoke, they were accountable for their actions. And that allowed the people who the actions were perpetrated on to make a decision to forgive and move on with their lives. But they got to be heard. The perpetrators got to be heard, and the people who were perpetrated on also got to be heard. And that was healing for their community, for South Africa. And what the people said is, we could be angry and we could retaliate, but what would that do to our country? It would rip it apart even more. So we choose forgiveness. They chose forgiveness and restoration. And justice was served. It's not like the person sat down and they said, oh, we forgive you, go ahead and go about your life. There was justice that had to be served. And the people took accountability for their actions. And they served whatever time or whatever retribution that was needed, it was done. So how does it work? The victims were invited to tell their story in a public hearings. The perpetrators of the violence could apply for amnesty, but only if they made a full disclosure of their actions and proved they were politically motivated. Healing through truth. The nation acknowledged its wounds collectively. This visibly helped prevent denial, silence, and revisionists on their history. And then documentation. The Truth and Reconciliation Act created detailed records of abuse, laying the groundwork for future accountability and education. We can't erase it. So Desmond Tutu often said, without forgiveness, there is no future. Without forgiveness, there is no future. You know, there is a word, Ubuntu, and I know you know the word. I am because we are. So that was something that they practiced that helped to heal the nation. So Science of Mind teaches us we live in a spiritual universe governed by material laws. And this means our thoughts, words, and choices shape our experience, including our relationships. So conflict, therefore, is not an accident. It's an invitation to shift our consciousness and become instruments of peace. The peace that we so want. And I know you want peace because I want peace. And so we sometimes give lip service to it, but are we really working on the peace in ourselves? Because you cannot give from an empty cup, right? You cannot. And so some strategies for conflict and transformation is, number one, active listening. Listening is not waiting to reply. How many of you have been in a conversation with someone and you're kind of listening, but you're ready to respond? I mean, I know we're all guilty of that. I think we are. Are we? You guys are really quiet this morning. We have this whole place to ourselves. We can get loud if we want to. How many have been in a conversation and you're listening sort of, but you already formed your answer or you're replying, you're waiting to respond? How many? All right. All right. So active listening is holding space for someone else's truth, even if it challenges your own. Ernest Holmes said, the answer to every problem already exists in the mind. And sometimes the solution is already in the room. We just haven't listened deeply enough to find it. How many of us have had a problem, an issue or something, and in me talking to you about it, I'm going to use you for an example. When I'm talking to someone about it, I hear the answer in my head already. So instead of burdening other people, and then after I talk to her, I'm going to talk to Al about it too, that problem. Because what? Misery loves company. And then I'm going to talk to you about it, and I'm going to talk to you about it. And one time I was doing that, and I said to myself, I heard myself saying this thing one more time, and I said, that is the last time I'm going to tell that story. That is the last time I'm going to tell that story. The second step is empathy. Empathy is spiritual vision. It says, I see the divine in you even when we disagree. I see the divine in you even when we disagree. When we respond with empathy, you disarm the ego. You create a condition for peace to emerge. We say we want peace, so we have to practice empathy. The third is assertive communication. Being assertive is not being aggressive. It means expressing your truth with clarity and compassion. It means standing in your power while honoring others. Let me repeat that. Being assertive is not being aggressive. It means expressing your truth with clarity and compassion. It means standing in your power while honoring others. And the fourth is compromise and negotiation. What I do every day. I'm compromising and negotiating with my grandkids. Compromise is not surrender. It's synergy. It's when two people drop the tug of war rope and ask, how can we both win? Compromise is not surrender. It's synergy. It's dropping that tug-of-war rope and asking, how can we both win in this situation? In spiritual terms, negotiation is what we do every day, all day. Co-creation. Compromise and negotiation is co-creation. So I have some questions for you before I close. Where in your life is unresolved conflict blocking your peace? You don't have to answer that. I want you to contemplate it. Where in your life is unresolved conflict blocking your peace? My second question is, what would it look like to listen with empathy rather than react from fear? What would it look like to listen with empathy rather than react from fear? And then my third question for you to contemplate is, are you willing to forgive? Not just others, but yourself for the way you have contributed to the division, whatever that is. Are you willing to forgive yourself for the way you've contributed to the division and forgive others? So conflict is a holy classroom. It asks us not to win, but to wake up. And when we choose forgiveness, when we listen from the soul, when we speak with love, we become the bridge between hurt and healing. So remember, peace is not the absence of conflict. It is the presence of understanding. Peace is not the absence of conflict, because we can't avoid it. But it is the presence of understanding. So as you leave today, I invite you to consider one relationship, personal, professional, whatever it is, that you can transform by this message. One relationship that can be transformed by this message. Be the first to listen. Be the first to forgive. Be the first to make peace. And so it is.
Closing prayer.
Closing prayer. So let us go within. I invite you to close your eyes if it's comfortable for you. And we're going to breathe in peace. And we're going to breathe out peace. Taking a cleansing breath, the spirit of love, presence of peace is here, right here where we are. We open our hearts to the sacred work of reconciliation, of forgiveness, of finding peace, first within ourselves. Let peace begin with me. And where there is division, let there be unity. Where there is pain, let there be healing. Where there has been silence, let there be truth that is spoken with love. Because God is love. Whatever you choose to call it, spirit, the universe, it is absolute good. It is absolute love. Let us release blame. Let us release judgment. Let us choose compassion. I bless this time that we've spent together. I bless each and every one of you on this journey. You, me, we are the peacemakers, not only for our world, but within our hearts. So, my beloveds, let peace begin with you in your heart. Allow that peace to radiate through you. Let it show up and shine through you. I feel it. As it shines through you, it begins to have a ripple effect in this world. Like a pebble thrown in a river, and the ripples go out. When you're at peace, when you're standing in your power, and when you know that you are the presence of God operating as you, and you have peace and love within, it shows up. People want to know what you got, and can I get some of it? There was a commercial when E.F. Hutton speaks and everybody stopped to listen. So when you shine your radiance, your love, your peace into the world, people see it, they respond to it. They want to know what you've got because they want some of it. You're speaking your truth. You're standing in your power. You're loving. And so that's who we are. So we get back to that. I heard today that we're spiritual beings. We are spiritual beings. And when we come from spirit, what does that mean? That means that we have love, we have joy, prosperity, abundance, perfect health and wholeness. But we have to tune in and tap into it in order to realize it. So I'm asking you today, be the peacemakers in this world. We want a world that works for everyone, but it starts right here in the center of your being. When we allow that to radiate out, oh my, how beautiful it is. So I thank you for this day. I thank you for your presence. And take this message into your life and into the world. And so it is.
Thank you, Reverend Sonja. How about a hand for her?
Thank you. All right.
Something I've noticed, and I don't know all the ins and outs of all the rituals and all the routines and everything, but there's something about the flowers. Somebody brought flowers, these beautiful flowers today. Do we know who that was? Somebody should be acknowledged for that, or thank whoever it was. Thank you. Are they from last week? Well, they've held up very well. Yes, that's right. Sometimes people are kind and say the same thing about me, but.
Is it time for our conscious giving?
Not quite yet.
Not quite yet.
I have
Okay.
a song to do.
You have a song to do. Okay.
It's about peace,
All right.
subject of the day, but it's a little bit kind of in your face. I hope it's all right. sanity? Whoa, whoa, I ask myself, is all hope lost? Why is there pain and hatred and misery? Oh, why? And each time I feel like this inside, there's one thing I want to know. What's so funny about peace, love, and understanding? Whoa. What's so funny about peace, love, and understanding? Anybody else feel that way? Thank you, Chuck. As I walk on with a troubled mind, my spirit gets so downhearted sometimes. Where are the strong? Who can be trusted? Where is the harmony, sweet harmony? 'Cause each time I feel it slipping away, it just makes me wanna cry. 'Cause what's so funny about peace, love, and understanding? Whoa. What's so funny about peace, love, and understanding? I can't be the only one who wants to say that sometimes. As I walk on with a troubled mind, my spirit gets so downhearted sometimes. You know it does. So where are the strong? And who can be trusted? And where is the harmony, sweet harmony? Whoa, whoa. Each time I feel it slipping away, it just makes me wanna cry. What's so funny about peace, love, and understanding? Whoa. What's so funny about peace, love, and understanding? Whoa. What's so funny about peace, love, and understanding?
All right. Well, anybody who has a partner or a spouse or anything like that know about peace, love, and understanding, right? All right. Do we have any ushers? Okay. Now it's time for a conscious contribution. There is a affirmation on the screen. We want to say that together as the ushers come up and go around. So let's say that together. I give and receive freely and generously with an open heart and an open mind. The universe responds to me in kind. I know that my beloved community is richly blessed. And so it is. Thank you.
Thank you for giving, and thank you for receiving, and thank you for being who you are.
Those online, you can go to our website. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Al.
All right, go ahead.
cslbeaumont.org, or you can text to give at 951-420-6909.
Thank you for breathing, and thank you for believing, and thank you for being who you are. The universe is flowing with love ever growing, and you are the vessel of that love. So thank you for caring, and bless you for your sharing. Thank you for being who you are. Thank you
Now it's time for our closing song.
Sure. Now, if you want, the tradition is for us all to stand up and circle up and all sing along, and I'll teach you this simple little song if you don't know it already, or at least stand. If you can circle up, don't circle up, do whatever pleases you. You know, it's a little communal exercise. We have those lyrics, Chuck? Okay, well, I'll teach you the song real fast here. It's 4 lines, and they just repeat. It's called One People, and the lines are one people, that's the first one. Living on one planet, that's the second one. Joining in one family, that's the third one. We are all one. We'll repeat it until you get it right. One people living on one planet, joining in one family. We are all one. One people living on one planet, joining in one family. We are all one. Now, like you mean it. One people living on one planet, joining in one family, joining in one family, joining in one family. We are one family. We are all one family. We are all one.
All right.
So rumor has it that there's food in Carter Hall.
There's food. There's food in Carter Hall, so please join this community for a meal. You don't have to go. And I'll be available for prayer. Yes, absolutely. Thank you for reminding me.